Anguttara Nikaya 10.14, the Buddha said, monks, in whatsoever monk or nun, 5 mental obstructions are not abandoned, and 5 bondages of the mind are not well rooted out. In such a one, come night, come day, decline, not growth, in good states may be looked for. And then the Buddha continued, and of what sort are the 5 mental obstructions not abandoned? Herein a monk has doubts and waverings about the teacher. He is not drawn to him. He is not sure about him. In a monk who so doubts and wavers, who is not drawn to and is not sure about the teacher, the mind of such a one inclines not to exertion, to application, to perseverance, to striving. In him whose mind inclines not to these things, this first mental obstruction is not abandoned. Again, monks, a monk has doubts about Dhamma. He has doubts about the Sangha, about the training. He is annoyed or vexed with his companions in the holy life, displeased, troubled in mind. In a monk who is thus, his mind inclines not to exertion, etc., to striving. In him whose mind inclines not to these things, these are the 5 mental obstructions not abandoned. And of what sort are the 5 mental bondages not well rooted out? Herein a monk has craving for sensual pleasures, desire, affections, thirsting, distress, and lust have not gone from him. In a monk who is such, the mind inclines not to exertion, to application, perseverance, and striving. In him whose mind inclines not to these things, this first mental bondage is not well rooted out. Again, a monk has craving for the body. He has craving for forms. Having eaten his belly full, he lies given to the pleasure of lying down on back or side, a prey to torpor, or he leads the holy life with a view to join some order of devas, with the thought, by virtue of this way of life or practice or austerity or holy life, I shall become some deva or other. Whatsoever monk has such an object in view, his mind inclines not to exertion, to application, to perseverance and striving. In him whose mind inclines not to these things, this 5th mental bondage is not well rooted out. Monks, in whatsoever monk or nun, these 5 mental obstructions are not abandoned, and these 5 mental bondages are not well rooted out. In such a one, come night, come day, decline, not growth, in good states may be looked for. Just as monks, in the dark period of the moon, come night, come day, it wanes in beauty, wanes in roundness, wanes in splendor, wanes in the height and compass of its orbit. Even so, in whatsoever monk or nun, these 5 mental obstructions be not abandoned, or these 5 mental bondages be not well rooted out. In such a one, come night, come day, decline, not growth, in good states may be looked for. But in whatsoever monk or nun, they are abandoned and rooted out. Growth, not decline, in good states may be looked for. That's the end of the sutta. Now I explain a bit about the first one, the Cetokila, 5 mental obstructions. The first one is the monk has doubts about the teacher. Here, the sutta is referring to the Buddha, because our real teacher is the Buddha. other monks are supposed to be good spiritual friends who introduce you to the Buddha's teaching. The real teacher, the original teacher is the Buddha. So the first one, he has doubts about the Buddha. The second one is to have doubts about Dhamma. Doubts about Dhamma, the Buddha's teachings. The third one is to have doubts about the Sangha. Now, the Sangha normally refers to the community of monks. This you can see from the Majjhima Nikaya. Every time somebody takes refuge with the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, they refer to the Bhikkhu Sangha. Also in the Dakkhina Vibhanga Sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta 142, it is stated that if you make an offering to if you make an offering to monks or nuns for the sake of the Sangha, then the merit, the blessings is immeasurable, boundless, and it surpasses the merit of giving to any single individual, including the Buddha. And even if the monks or nuns that you make an offering to are corrupt, they don't keep the precepts, etc., still, if you make that offering for the sake of the Sangha, then your merit is boundless. So, that is the Sangha. Again, some people say when you say Sangha, it refers to the Arya Sangha. This is not quite true, because even though it is mentioned sometimes that the Sangha consists of the 8 types of Arya, that is the ideal case. And if you take refuge with the Arya Sangha and you don't know who is an Arya, how do you take refuge? Whereas if you take refuge with the Bhikkhu Sangha, the Sangha of monks, then anybody who wears the robe represents the Sangha of monks. Usually monks should be Arya, but not all monks are Arya, and not all monks keep the precept, right? But still, because they wear the robe, they are recognized as monks. That's why when we take refuge with the Sangha, we take refuge with the order of monks. So that is the Sangha. And then the fourth one, he has doubts about the training. Training means the training of Sila, Samadhi and Panya. Morality, concentration and wisdom. And under the training of morality, it means keeping the precepts, keeping Sila. And sometimes people think that the training is only Sila. Sila is only part of the training. The full training is Sila, Samadhi, Panya. So it includes keeping moral conduct, it includes meditation, and it includes studying the suttas, so that it will also help you to get wisdom. So that is the training. And then the fifth one, he is vexed or annoyed with his companions in the holy life. If a monk is critical of his companions in the holy life, then he finds fault with them, he's not happy with them, he doesn't mix with them, etc., then that is an obstruction to him, fault finding. And these are the 5 mental obstructions that hinder a monk from practicing well. And then the 5 mental bondages of the heart is craving for sensual pleasures, craving for the body, craving for forms or visual objects. And then the 4th one, he sleeps a lot, a prey to sloth and torpor. And then the 5th one, he leads the holy life with a wrong motive, to be reborn as a deva or heavenly being. So these are the 5 mental bondages that also obstruct a monk from practicing well. Craving for sensual pleasures, craving for the body, craving for forms, prey to sloth and torpor, and practicing the holy life in order to become, to be reborn as a deva, a heavenly being.